Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Etep right here with you. 10 classic horror movies that need a modern remake. Oh. That phrase alone, need a modern remake, always makes me facepalm when it comes to horror movies. Because there are certain horror movies that you can't remake today. It doesn't work tonally. The way filmmakers shoot, write, and direct these things will not work in this modern lens. They won't. Friday the 13th is a perfect example of that, which the new Friday the 13th stuff, you got the series from A24, Crystal Lake, the Remake series coming out. That frightens me. Those of you who have been here for a while know there is no horror franchise I love more than Friday the 13th. It's a given. I don't want to see it get butchered again because 2009, even though, like I said, I was a little bit rough on that movie, it butchered it. It butchered it. Jason is not Leatherface. Okay. Jason is a revenant. He's not Leatherface. He's not making traps and rigging up lights and no. So we're going to talk about what Screen Rant, Kevin Stewart thinks these movies need a remake. And I love the picture right here. Let's just go with number one right off the bat in the center here. Mitch Pileggi, Horace Pinker, Shocker, a Wes Craven movie, vastly underrated horror movie that freaked me out as a kid because it was along the Freddy Krueger lines, except with a twist. Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
It's scary beyond all reason.
Remakes of horror movies can be successful and impactful, as proven by films like The Thing, The Fly, and Dawn of the Dead. Okay? 3 very different examples. The Thing, John Carpenter's movie was kind of a remake, but it's John Carpenter doing it. I think John Carpenter has a pretty good idea of how to make a horror movie. The Fly, Cronenberg, Jeff Goldblum, fantastic. Gina Davis, Goldblum, fantastic. Dawn of the Dead, that one, we're talking the Zack Snyder. They were good. I'm not a Zack Snyder fan, but they were good.
It was serviceable!
Many horror classics that haven't been remade could benefit from a modern update. Oh my God. Rosemary's Baby. Jesus, no. We saw what you did with The Exorcist. Leave Rosemary's Baby alone. Shocker. No. Because you'd have some fucking weirdo going through Tinder or some shit. I don't know. The Birds. Alfred Hitchcock's classic, The Birds, which not the best movie. Not really. I'm not a huge fan of The Birds, but I mean, I don't want to see it get slaughtered. And The Shining, which Dr. Sleep I've never watched because I've seen The Shining. I don't need a sequel to it. I don't care about a sequel to it. I don't care about a continuation. Don't need it.
Nobody needs one.
A modern remake of these films would offer an opportunity to improve upon certain aspects such as special effects, realism, and suspense. No. See, create something new. All that last sentence says to me is cash grab, cash grab, cash grab. And let me guess who would probably get Blumhouse. Gee, how'd that Blumhouse Fantasy Island work out? How did that Blumhouse Black Christmas work out? How did those Blumhouse Halloween movies go? Need I go on? Jason Blum, just go live on an island with no trees. Please, do us all a favor.
Go fly a kite, bub.
Many yet-to-be remade horror movies are overdue for a remake. Oh my God. Remakes are often contentious and sometimes they turn out terribly, but the best horror remakes have proven to be some of the finest movies in the genre. This should be good. Cementing the fact that it's worthwhile producing them. See, but these were all made in an era, well, 2 of them were made in an era where you didn't have all these filmmakers who are wannabe auteurs and think that they can sneak some social commentary into them, but they don't know how to write it in and do it properly. They do it in such a ham-fisted manner that it turns half your audience away. That's the problem, okay, with the modern retellings and reimaginings of these beloved IPs. Like I said, they quoted 1982's The Thing. I just watched that great movie. 86 is The Fly. Jeff Goldblum in that movie, the transformation, that scared me as a kid. And 2004's Dawn of the Dead are some remakes that at least arguably surpass the originals. I don't think Dawn of the Dead surpassed the original. The Fly and The Thing, yeah. But Zack Snyder, no. No, it didn't surpass the original. Looking back on horror history, many classic films haven't been the subject to the remake treatment, which is a good thing.
So good! So good!
Undoubtedly, more remakes will come, but they must be the right movies. From slashers and supernatural horrors to creature features and scary sci-fi offerings, remakes of several horror classics would be more than welcome. Create new things. My God, this is why people hate modern entertainment, because they're like, okay, here's what we do. We take this movie, we throw in DEI, and we push it out, and then we call anybody that doesn't like it bigots. I don't want that in my horror. I don't need that in horror. I get enough of that in every other genre of entertainment now. I get told I'm bad for not liking things that aren't plausible. Yeah. But that's another story. Let's talk about the remakes they want to push here. Rosemary's Baby, Roman Polanski's iconic psychological thriller. Roman Polanski notwithstanding, this movie is perfect. There's nothing that needs to be improved upon. Let's talk about this. Based on the 1967 novel of the same name by Ira Levin, it chronicles the pregnancy of a young woman in Manhattan who believes her neighbors are grooming her to gain access to her baby for satanic rituals. Her suspicion turns out to be horrifyingly justified. Mia Farrow stars as the eponymous Rosemary Woodhouse and gives a terrific performance. Ruth Gordon's performance as her elderly neighbor, Mebe Castevet, earned her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. This original is incredibly suspenseful, but it might be time for a scarier remake that's more impactful in the 21st century. Why? Why do you need to redo this? I'm getting mad. I don't want to do this. George is getting upset. It needs to be scarier and more impactful for the 21st century. Let me guess. More impactful for the 21st century. You're going to race bend a bunch of shit because it's not plausible to have white people in a movie anymore. I mean, please don't. That's all I'm going to say. Please don't. There's no way a remake of this. Okay, let's just, Ruth Gordon won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in this. You will never find a remake of this that will be as lauded as this one. Whoever you get as your Best Supporting Actress will not get an Oscar nomination. Guarantee it. Book it right now. Mark it down. I recorded this on November 5th, 2023. If this movie ever gets made, the Best Supporting Actress will not be from this remake. Won't. And it will be as poorly received as The Exorcist because look at what they did to The Exorcist. I rest my case. Shocker, 1989. Wes Craven's forgotten slasher gem. Shocker is an often forgotten entry into the late horror master Wes Craven's catalog. To be fair, it's not the most fantastic horror film ever made. In fact, it's sometimes downright silly.
So silly!
But this supernatural slasher is still wildly entertaining and worth a watch. It follows a serial killer sentenced to death by electric chair, who then returns to life in the form of electricity to continue his murder spree. Given Shocker's failure to become a cult classic the first time, a remake should be made to produce a less silly, more frightening modern version of the film, bringing Craven's lesser-known gem the success it deserves. Okay, right there. You're not going to have Mitch Pileggi in it due to age. Let's see. Hang on. I'm going to look up. We'll see how old is Mitch, not Mitch McConnell, Pileggi. 71 years old. Mitch Pileggi, 71 years old. You're not going to have Mitch Pileggi in this movie. And who are you going to have play this role? Who's a modern actor that can give you the performance that was both funny and scary with the one-liners almost akin to Freddy Krueger and deliver them with such gravitas as Mitch Pileggi? Go ahead, I'll wait. That's right. Nobody. They'll be like, oh, Idris Elba, Michael B. Jordan. No, this doesn't need a remake. It doesn't need a more serious, because this one was already violent. Like, this movie had some savage kills in it. You don't need a remake of this because it would be botched horribly. Let me guess. Jordan Peele would remake this one.
Yeah. Jordan.
The Birds, 1963. Alfred Hitchcock's seminal masterpiece, The Birds, depicts several days in which birds of all species suddenly start attacking the human population of Bodega Bay, California en masse. The idea of birds being scary sounds ludicrous, but Hitchcock categorically succeeds in making them so. The film does a remarkable job of showing the birds gathering in ominous groups, ready to make their move. However, where it suffers today is in its close-up scenes, which look badly dated and occasionally outright silly. A modern remake with more realistic attacks and gory aftermath of those attacks would be intriguing to see. Okay, right there. Alfred Hitchcock's movies weren't based on gore. They were based on suspense and tension, which, in lieu of gore, are fantastic tools for horror. Now, if you're Eli Roth and you're a complete moron,
What a rude.
you need to rely on gore as opposed to a suspenseful story or well-written characters, okay? I'm not saying that Hitchcock's characters were all a masterclass in how to write, character studies. But let's face it, a modern remake of this, they would focus on the character's identity, probably who they like to sleep with. This is the problem, again, with modern horror. Leave it alone. Let it live in its bubble. It exists there. Why remake it? Why? Because the close-up scenes look silly and dated. See, I'm sorry, but whoever wrote this has zero appreciation for horror. Zero. You're clamoring for cheap cash grab remakes of classic horror movies. It makes no sense.
Show me the money.
The Shining, 1980, the Stanley Kubrick classic. A sequel to 1981's The Shining was released in 2019. Dr. Sleep depicts the adulthood of Danny Torrance from the original film and his handling of his childhood trauma. However, a remake would still be most welcome. Why? Why? Jack Nicholson ain't coming back. Who are you going to have replace Jack Nicholson? What, Colin Farrell? Leonardo DiCaprio? They'd be like, no. We'll have Michael B. Jordan. Because you made a sequel to this with Dr. Sleep. So now you go to remake it and then remake the sequel, which just came out 4 years ago. Like, come on, you got to use the thing upstairs.
Stupid.
Eyes Without a Face. A French language plastic surgery nightmare.
French or Italian?
French.
Eyes Without a Face is a French horror movie based on Jean Redon's 1959 novel. It's about a plastic surgeon who becomes obsessed with giving his daughter a face transplant after she becomes disfigured following an accident. He will go any lengths to provide her one, even if it means taking the lives of other young women. With intriguing themes of guilt and obsession, Eyes Without a Face is as intelligent as it is horrific. A modern remake with makeup and special effects of the 21st century would be a deliciously gruesome and bring the classic story to a broader audience. All right, go watch Eyes Without a Face, the 1959 classic. Go watch that. I've never seen it. I might watch it now, though. But bringing a deliciously gruesome... Why? Okay, so it's intriguing with themes of guilt and obsession. It's as intelligent as it is horrific. Where is there to go from there? Where is there to improve from? Oh, well, we need new special effects. No. Can you not appreciate something in its original form? That's the problem. That's the problem with people with no talent or creativity. They'll take something and what we're going to do is we've got Mario here. We'll take Mario. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the Mario you know and love, and we're going to reimagine him and make him great for the modern audience, which means we'll make him a black woman. This doesn't need to happen. You don't need a remake of this. Like, you're calling this movie intelligent, just as intelligent as it is horrific. Guaranteed, bet you $1 million, a modern reimagining would be as stupid as it is worthless.
May be worth $1 million to you, but to me, she's worthless.
Aha. Event Horizon, 1997. This movie I just watched for the first time last year. Wow. The only thing I wanted more of was the hell orgy scene, which was just a flash. Critical Drinker did a great interview with one of the actresses that was in that scene, and they shot more, but it got cut. This one is a freaking amazing movie. Sam Neill not available anymore, obviously. Health issues and age. Why would you remake this? You can't top the cast. You can't. You might be able to top the aesthetic of it, but they had practical effects, and this is a point that goes back for all of these. Anything that was practical effects in those would now be done as CGI and look like shit. So, no, that right there is my main bone of contention. Is anything practical, like the set pieces they built for this, would be turned into CGI and look like garbage. Event Horizon is a tragically underrated sci-fi horror with a fantastic cast. The movie takes place in 2047 and chronicles a mission undertaken by a team of astronauts to find a missing spaceship, the eponymous Event Horizon, only to find it's been possessed by an evil supernatural force that may have been to hell itself. Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, Kathleen Quinlan, Jolie Richardson, Jason Isaacs, and Sean Pertwee are among its stars. Event Horizon is terrifying, some of the goriest scenes in horror history.
Horrifying. Terrifying.
However, it went underappreciated by a generation, and a modern remake to give it the story another chance to shine would be welcome. Again, the reasons I listed, no, because all they're going to do is they're going to make this all CGI. That's the hell orgy right there. They'll make it all CGI, all terrible, and it'll look like garbage, and it'll be a soulless cash grab yet again.
Show me the money. Show me the money.
The Funhouse, 1981. Tobe Hooper's suspenseful carnival of horror. Never seen this. The slasher movie The Funhouse is one of the most unfortunately overlooked films in the genre's history. It's directed by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's Tobe Hooper and follows a group of teenagers trapped in a local carnival's dark ride in a small town, Iowa. There, an unstable and physically deformed carny attacks them. The film boasts more suspense than the average slasher film and a more tragically sympathetic villain in Gunther Twybunt, who deserves his place among more revered horror icons. A remake would give him that opportunity and allow for a modern retelling, which would be interesting given the Funhouse's intriguing setting. Let's see here. So why? Why would we need to remake this? Why can't you just do a re-release of it and, add in any lost footage, any interviews, anything like that, some commentaries? You don't need to remake this. Again.
Hey, look, man, you don't have to do this.
The Faculty, 1998, the year Etep graduated high school. The Faculty is one of the most quintessentially 90s movies imaginable. The sci-fi horror flick chronicles the infiltration of a high school staff roster by alien parasites and the fight back by a group of students who don't want to become infected. Its trendy cast included Josh Hartnett, Elijah Wood, Clea Duvall, Laura Harris, Famke Janssen, Jordana Brewster. It's derivative but frightening, funny, and admirably self-aware. It would be great to see a fresh cast of young stars in a remake, playing a new group of teen archetypes, possibly with some original cast members as faculty members. Okay, a group of new young actors. Who is this group of young actors? What are we going to have? Rachel Zegler? I mean, who? There's no... These new actors are... this is... Filmmaking is in a very, very dark place right now. The actors strike aside, because I could care less. I can go back and watch old stuff like this and be perfectly happy and content with it. This is another movie, time capsulized, doesn't need a remake. You're not gonna surpass this casting. It's not gonna happen. It's impossible. Literally impossible. To remake any of these movies is an impossibility using modern sensibilities with, like I said, it'll all be CG. Your practical effects are going to be gone. You'll have, these actors in front of green screens, and it'll look contrived and just be cheap. And yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to ruin good things.
Like a cheap kazoo.
In The Mouth of Madness, 1994. I've never seen this. Never seen The Mouth of Madness. This is a John Carpenter movie. John Carpenter's supernatural horror movie, In the Mouth of Madness, is the third movie in what Carpenter calls his Apocalypse trilogy. 82's The Thing, 87's The Prince of Darkness, which is also ripe for a remake. Shut the fuck up. Are others. It chronicles the descent of an insurance investigator into madness as he looks into the disappearance of a horror novelist. The lines between reality and fiction become terrifyingly blurred. Its fantastic cast includes Sam Neill, David Warner, and Charlton Heston. And it's a technical triumph with an intriguing premise that's genuinely scary. A modern remake with the technology of today would make for an aesthetically incredible movie. Again, why do you think CGI and this shit is so much better than the practical effects of the things we got back then? You tell me something looks cheap back then, and I'll tell you it looks better than CGI today. I don't care.
Find her a new set of snow tires.
Jaws. Many people would see a remake of Jaws as nothing short of blasphemy. That is the understatement of the year. But there's no doubt it would draw in crowds like Amity Island Beach on a hot day. Wow. Shut up, douchebag. The original film, based on Peter Benchley's 1974 novel, On the Hunt for a Man-Eating Great White Shark after a spate of attacks in the summer resort town. It's fantastic, suspenseful, terrifying, and boasts leading acting trio Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and Robert Shaw. What trio of modern actors is going to replace that? You go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments and tell me. Watching new actors attempt to match them would be fascinating. No, it wouldn't. That'd be like watching a toddler try to do astrophysics. Also, seeing a generation of vain Instagrammers devoured by a shark would be undeniably entertaining. No. 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 God, no. Shut the... no. That's as stupid as the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre with all the morons in the bus going, "You try anything, you're canceled, bro." As he guts him with a chainsaw. That was the most satisfying scene of that movie. But I don't need more of that. You did it once. It was stupid. You don't need to do it again.
Once is quite enough.
Kevin Stewart is an entertainment and sports writer from the United Kingdom. He's produced content for high-profile platforms around the world, including Paste Magazine, Digital Spy, 442, What Culture. Oh, What Culture describes why he's such a cuck. And NBC Sci-Fi. He loves movies, especially horror, 80s films, and superhero flicks. No. He enjoys spending time with his partner, Rachel. Okay, so he loves horror movies and 80s films, but wants all these iconic movies to be remade into modern trash and calls his girlfriend his partner. I don't need to say any more, folks, about Kevin Stewart. Are there any movies that they covered that you think actually need a remake? Jesus, this video went on for a while. Let me know if you think these need remakes. If you think that I'm wrong, please expand on your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, ding the bell, do all the YouTube things. I think this is ridiculous. I have given you my reasons why. I don't want to do anything else because at this point it'll just be ad nauseum. I'm Etep from The Place to Be Reviews. Big shout out to my editor, Goodstuff. Thank you, sir, for making this video look great for all of yous. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I will catch you on the next one when hopefully they don't recast me as a more diverse character.
Reimagined for the modern audience.